Welcome back, guys. Do y'all remember this little video I did a few days ago, Neo Geo 2 reveal and more SNK news, where I spoke about having a source who's given me information in the past that was true, where they stated that SNK was going to be officially revealing the Neo Geo 2 hardware coming up this week. Well, it's now this week, and a little sooner than I thought. They actually have unveiled their new system. So this is all we have right now, but I want to take a little closer look at this thing because there's a lot of speculation going on. I've heard a lot of things where people are like, okay, this is just an arcade stick you could plug into the Switch or the PS4 or PC, who knows for sure. But there's a lot of information here if you really look. So I want to take a little closer look at this thing in a moment, but here we go. For all Neo Geo fans, I mean, that's debatable. That is really debatable. It could be for all Soulja Boy fans too. We just don't know yet. Just going to depend on the quality, what this thing actually does. But here it is, the Neo Geo Arcade Stick Pro Gear Spec Advanced Entertainment System, copyright SNK Corporation. What? So, taking a look at their official announcement, they have announced it on multiple Twitter accounts that they have. I'm on the official Japanese one, but it's all the same. Even on the US one, it's the same information. They state new Neo Geo hardware comes after the Neo Geo Mini. So that's the keyword, hardware. I mean, anything could be considered hardware, I guess, if you really just said it was hardware. But from my understanding, from what I've been told, this is a console. This plays games. But there might be a little more to it than that. The Neo Geo Arcade Stick Pro is a stylish and unique arcade stick with the motif of the Neo Geo CD controller design. Please look forward to follow-up report. So they don't have any more information quite yet. A lot of people are kind of excited. People are asking questions. You're not going to get answers from them right now, not until they're ready to share with you guys. So if you look on any website, I've kind of looked around to see if anybody had uncovered anything else, and I've not seen anything. I haven't heard anything from any of my sources yet. Let me double check. Let me see if I got any messages. Nope, nothing quite yet. So I don't have any additional information, but if I get any more additional information, we'll do a follow-up. But websites like Gamatsu and whatnot, they have the same information from the tweet, like, hey, more information coming soon. But I do want to take a closer look at this thing and talk about a few things that I'm noticing with this device. So let's back out a little bit. It is a kind of low resolution picture here. This could be a render. I'm not 100%. Kind of leads me to believe that this is a render and it's not an actual product quite yet due to the shadows that are on here, because looking at the way the shadows are on these side buttons over here, it makes the plastic look like it's lipping up and kind of like sucking onto those buttons, because it's just the shadows are not coming off correct. Like either they're shadows or it's the plastic curling up, which it's hard to say for sure, because over here these buttons up at the top, maybe this one a little bit. It's really hard to see what I'm trying to explain here, but maybe a little bit. It could just be shadows. It's probably just a render. You know, I'm no scientist when it comes to renders and whatnot, but this is the product that they're revealing, and there's a few things I've noticed here that drive me nuts, but at the same time, I'm curious. My interest is piqued. So looking at this thing, it does look like the top of it is textured a bit. That's fine. I mean, I'm fine with that, I guess. I don't know if this is just like an overlay or a sticker, because you do see a seam around it, but those aren't the things I really wanted to point out here. So A, B, C, D, you have the same layout from the Neo Geo Mini, which is redonkulous. I can't defend it. I know you can get used to it and it works for games like King of Fighters, but that's not how the original controller was laid out. Even with this being an arcade stick, why the hell didn't you go A, B, C, D, or just the CD pad A, B, C, D, instead of doing this weirdness right here that it's just hard for a lot of people to get used to who have a Neo Geo anyway. But then the other thing is, like, why do we have these additional 4 buttons that are not marked as anything? That's strange. So I think there's a couple possibilities here, and we're going to revisit that in a moment. We don't know. Are these Saimitsu? Are they Sanwa buttons and stick? Is this a clicky stick? If it's not a clicky stick, if they just went with an analog stick, holy crap. People are going to just be like, you know what, SNK, we're done with you. We'll wait for Soulja Boy to come out with his version, which he probably won't. He's changed his life. He's a new man. Don't worry about that. I don't think he's going to be doing the same stuff. Maybe we'll do a follow-up on that guy later. There's a lot of interesting information concerning him. If you want to see that, let me know. But back to this. We don't know the quality of these buttons. We don't know the company who's making these buttons. We don't know anything yet. But here's the other thing that I think is stupid. Your select and start. You're trying to make this stay the same style of a CD pad, but just bigger. Unless it's like this big, that'd be ridiculous. I would imagine it would be like, man, it's kind of hard to get in frame here. I would imagine it'd just be like a standard size stick that you can put on your lap or whatever. Maybe it'll be a little smaller. It's kind of hard to say. We could probably get dimensions by looking at these ports down here. We could probably estimate that. I might dig into that, let you guys know what the actual dimensions of this are later. I'll post that like in the description of the video, what my estimation is. But this is a thing that's stupid. This is select and start right here. Why the hell would you have a select and start button right next to the stick and the main face buttons of your controller? Makes no sense. This isn't something you're holding like this. This is something you're playing like this. However you grip that stick, however you, you're bound to hit them damn buttons. And Neo Geo games, select and start, would be used for like pausing the game or inserting coins or, just starting the game, that kind of thing. Why would those be so close to that? They should not be in the middle. That is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. They shouldn't be down here either, because this is where you would rest your palms. That's where your palms would be, depending upon how you hold this or, place your hands. Regardless of how you place your hands, you don't want additional buttons down here that register as start and select. The best place for them would be up top somewhere or behind or on the side. But then we do get to that. There are side buttons here. There's some weirdness. I don't know what this little groove is right here. We'll zoom up in a second. We'll get to that in a second. What I want to talk about next, besides this with our unmarked face buttons, but maybe this could be a thing where you could remap it in A, B, C, D. Maybe they're just giving you options, right? But the other thing that is curious, and it's something we've already talked about, is you have a player 1 and player 2 port here and a headphone jack right here. So just like SNK had already said, just like I had spoke about in my other video, you're supposed to be able to plug in the Neo Geo Mini some way with this. It's supposed to interface somehow. The way it looks is that you could plug in a player 1 and player 2 controller. The CD pads, the pads, whatever the mini pads that came, well, it didn't necessarily come with the Neo Geo Mini. You had to buy them separately, depending upon the bundle you got. But that's what it looks like. These are USB-C ports. It's looking like this is just going to be, like I had already stated in the information that I've got, that this is going to be a contained system. It's not just a controller. It's a contained system that plays games, has games built into it. And you can either play it this way, or you could use this just as the console itself. You could use this similar to like a Pandora's Box thing or that Capcom Home Arcade system that's coming out. Or you can have this just as the console itself sitting somewhere else. Plug in those crappy controllers and start gaming to your heart's content that way. Options, that's what they're doing here. Then we have a headphone jack. But then here's the thing that a lot of people are like, is this going to work for other consoles? Is that what they're trying to do here? And I was really dwelling on these buttons over here. If you look at the shape of these buttons, they look identical to the power button that is on the Neo Geo Mini, but I don't know what these are for. Are these going to be like secondary buttons that like the PlayStation would use or the Nintendo Switch? Is this going to be something where it's a self-contained system that plays games and you can use it on other consoles? Who knows for sure? And then you have this little weird nugget up here. What is that? Is that a volume slider? Is that the power switch? But if these already look like the power button from the Neo Geo Mini, wouldn't one of these be the power button? What is this weird notch right here that I cannot get out of my mind, constantly staring at it? I don't know what the hell that thing is right here, but there's something right there as well that I cannot tell quite yet. But we do have these 4 buttons. We have whatever stash that is. I have no idea. We have this little button right here. And then, like I said, we have these ports up at the front. Now, is this going to be a thing where you can use it on the Xbox? You can use it on whatever system, plug in your headphones? Or is this just where you can play the system on your TV and have the audio come through it that way? Is this just a Neo Geo Mini built into it? Which, that's a scary thought here. Is that all this is going to be? Is this going to be the Neo Geo Mini built into this thing, but it's the Pro version that you can use on other consoles? Is that what they're aiming at here? We'll have to wait until they announce more. But like I said, if I get some more information from any of my sources that know about this stuff or have connections, can't really speak on names or anything, but they've always been right. Anything I've reported that I've stated that I've gotten from these sources has always happened with SNK. So it is pretty cool to get that information, but we just don't have a lot right now. The thing that I fear, like I said, is this is just going to be a Neo Geo Mini playing those games with those options, with all these additional buttons just for different things that we could do on other systems, to where this can be used on other consoles, but it's just a Neo Geo Mini by itself. The other possibility is it is a new system that will play new games, and we have these additional buttons because maybe they're designing stuff to work with that. Maybe they'll have some partnerships with companies like Capcom. Maybe we'll see SNK versus Capcom, Capcom versus SNK, whatever the hell the games were on this. And that's why we have the buttons like this. Or it could just be, like I said, for other hardware systems, or for options to remap the buttons to use this on the Neo Geo Mini, or it's just is a Neo Geo Mini. Prepare to be disappointed. Like I already said in my first tweet when I first heard about this thing, before these images came out, it was like, prepare to be disappointed. We don't know quite yet what they're doing. Let me know what you think is the likelihood of this thing. What are they doing with it? Why do they have the select and start button right here like dumbasses? Let me know. And with that said, I really do appreciate you guys. And I will, for reals, catch you all next time. Peace out, bye-bye, and boom. Bye. Thumbs up.